Hello and welcome to Model Rail's Russian PWM, or as I've nicknamed it, the bitch. Why is it called the bitch? Because the very poor construction and just general problems I've had with this. I'll have to add in before we go any further that it wasn't all of Model Rail's fault. Although they're not very forthcoming in what motors are fitted to their models. It's like trying to get secret information out of them. The only way I found out what motor this was in, I bought a decoder for it. It's got a coreless motor in it. Here it comes. That's the best I can get it running. This thing has been in absolute pieces, and it's consequently lost a few parts in the process, which is not surprising. It's got very fragile parts fitted to it. Well, that's just what that is. It's one of these wobbly wagons. I don't know which one it is. One fitted with, see that way that's wobbling. That's funny, isn't it? It's got an off-centre axle. That I'm not too bothered about that. I'll fix that at some point. It's when the two metal wheels touch that and they have a bit of a short. Something that needs addressing. Anyway, yeah, the Heljan Model Rail PWMs. So yeah, coreless motor. It's the best I can get it running. So I bought a Rail's Next 18 decoder, right? Because that's what the PCB's got on it, and I'll show you the PCB. Yeah, I'll get that over while we're waiting for that to come around. Have a look. Get that out. Right. Where are we? There's the PCB out of it, alright? And it runs without it. It's still got the original blanking plate in it. There, I'll put it back, obviously, to try and run it. All not needed necessarily. That's the 2 wires to the motor and 2 wires to the pickups. Put that back in the box. Yeah, I bought a Rail's Next 18 decoder and it just kept stopping. It kept stopping. So what happened? I took the bait, first thing I did was take the keeper plate off. That's where the pickups are located underneath, 2 screws, and it's hardwired. This thing, get out of the way, hardwired, and so you can't take the keeper plate off completely. It's got a couple of wires sticking out of it. So what I did, just splayed out the 6 pickups, copper pickups outwards. See if that did anything. No, still ran round, stopped. I'd already sent it back to Model Rail for replacement. What I didn't know was the problem was caused by the compatibility of decoders to coreless motors, right? Now, like I said, I had no idea this had a coreless motor until I took it out. You can tell them because they've got like a tin outer body, and you cannot see the windings inside. Okay, I'm not keen on them, to be honest. So anyway, so where were we? So I worked out that I needed a different decoder, but by that stage, I'd cut off the PCB, avoiding the warranty, which was still under guarantee, funny enough. Still under guarantee to April, but I've been on the phone to Model Rail and they won't have it back, obviously, which is understandable. So the idea was to fit a different decoder in, cheaper one, instead of lashing out for another Next 18. I was going to just put a normal 4-function decoder and hardwire it. Okay, that's the plan, do away with the PCB. But before I did that, I got in touch with Digitrains of Lincolnshire, I think they are, and spoke to a nice guy here. I told him what the problem was. He said, look, why don't you try one of our Zimo decoders? They're perfect for this. And the one he suggested was a Zimo, let's have a look, it's a Zimo 600R, alright, motor decoder, right? It's a full function pin decoder, right? Full function. Now that came with an 8-pin harness, that Zimo. So I knew that I was just going to be cutting that off, bearing the wires and hooking it up to the motor and pickups. So I did that, and the I managed to get the lights working again as well, because it's got light, but I wasn't sure how to do that. So the guy on the phone there told me exactly what to do, what wires to use, the blue, was it the green and the white wire off the decoder. Anyway, it's all there on the instructions, what wires do what. And basically I've taped it all together. I'm not very good at soldering, and managed to cram it all back in there. And this is the result. It's got very slow action, this loco. I think I've got it running on full 28 speed step, not the 128, because it's just too slow. And it runs quieter in this direction than it does forward. I don't know if you can hear that sort of motor sound. I don't know what that is. I've put grease, white grease on it. I've put oil on the gears and all that, and it still sounds noisy, especially running in the opposite direction. But it's running, and it's lost 2 windscreen wipers, and various other bits have fallen off of it in the process. It's got a plastic body, plastic chassis, plastic body and running plate. The chassis is metal, get that right, and the chassis is made up of 2 halves, which you might have seen in my other videos, alright? And the motor is tiny, it really is a tiny little thing. And the worst thing is the drive to the worm gear, to the cogs on the main driving wheel, one driving wheel, there's a plastic tube linking that worm gear to the main drive shaft. A tiny little piece of plastic, the worst thing I've ever seen. And I put that on Model Railway Enthusiast Facebook page, which I'm a member, and a guy came on there and said, "What is that heap of crap?" And I said, "It's come out of a Heljan nasty PWM," and it is. It's the worst cheaply made model I've ever had. But anyway, it's running for about 150 quid. Plus, you can still buy these. They've still got plenty left if you want to take a punt. But personally, I can't recommend it. And I'll just, after this is over, I'll bung it back in the box, and don't know when I'll see it again. But the main thing is it's running. I'll put all my notes down, and there it is. Sounds, windscreen wipers, and a few other bits. But at least I've got it going again. And I've had this running around like this. You can just see my decoder. I've got the lights gone off, poking out there in the cab. Sometimes you have to just turn that back on again. So yeah, the light goes out, but it's not supposed to be on when the cab's moving yet. When the loco's moving anyway, it's lost a few bits, but the main thing is it's running. So I'll put all that down. Anyway, that's 8 minutes, enough to talk about this thing. Sorry to be so pessimistic, but sometimes you get a loco and it's a complete dud, and this is it. Alright, funny enough, I've just ordered the Class 11 diesel shunter that's just come out, and that I managed to get it out of Heljan. What motor's fitted to that? It's not cordless, it's a 5-pole skew wound, so please don't let it be a total bake like this was. I don't think it will be, because it looks a completely different kettle of fish, like some of the earlier Heljan models were. But some of these little shunters, I don't know, they're just cheap and nasty. Anyway, the next loco to feature will be the Bachmann 3-car 108 DMU. It's ready to go, but that's for another video, and we'll have a look at that in detail next time. Thanks for watching, and the birds are tweeting on a Friday night.